A mother cat who is saved and raising stray kittens isn't a mother at all. The task of rescuing animals from the streets is not easy. Without human assistance, some kittens born in this situation may develop into feral animals at a young age. It's crucial that they get saved while they're still little, in part because of this. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Rescuers realized the kittens needed assistance when they saw an abandoned basket full of them on the side of the road. They brought in the mother cat as well after noticing another cat guarding them. They were all stunned, though, by what the veterinarian discovered about this hovering mama cat. When animals in need of rescue are summoned to the scene, rescuers need to be ready for almost anything to happen. In their area of work, volunteers may always expect the unexpected, but that's about the only guarantee. Only when there are numerous animals to preserve does this become more urgent. This is precisely the reason that the staff at Bloomfield, New Jersey's Homeless Animal Adoption League, acted quickly in response to this urgent request. It appears that a number of kittens were left behind in a laundry basket by the side of the road in East Orange, a nearby town, and the rescuers realized they had to act quickly to save the kitties. Since the cats were nearby, the group felt it would be wise to take a look, even though they didn't generally undertake street rescues. Since there were several kittens involved, they moved swiftly. As expected, the basket was waiting for them on the curb when they got to the site. What they found out next was something they had not anticipated. They discovered a mother cat and her 6 little kittens within the basket. It seemed, according to the rescuer, as though she realized they were there to support her and her family. They sensed from her look that she was aware that assistance would be necessary for her to survive her ordeal. Everyone was amazed by this cat's maternal instincts. The small cat family was swiftly returned to the shelter by the staff, who made sure to feed and bathe them right away. After that was finished, a detailed inspection was warranted. The kittens were then examined by the veterinarian to ensure their overall health. It was time for the mother cat's checkup the next day. Things took a drastic turn at that point. The veterinarian saw something so strange when he started to inspect that he had to immediately report it to the rest of the team. The crew was taken aback to learn that the mother of the litter was in fact a man. Although there was no way to confirm it at first look, the shelter staff surmised that he may have been the father or a brother cat from another litter. He could as well have been a random guy who happened to stumble upon the little kittens and chose to keep them company. He wasn't a mother, but he was unquestionably their mother figure. Regardless of his true kinship to the kittens, the male cat assumed the role of surrogate mother so gracefully that the staff at the shelter gave him the nickname Mrs. Doubtfire. He had performed both of his parenting duties, thus the name made sense. Of course, it's unlikely that this feline was dressing up as an elderly British lady in order to spend more time with his kids following a tough divorce. Fortunately, it was found that Mrs. Doubtfire and his kitten family were in good health. Thus, they will all need to find new homes. That seems like a happily ever after that would make a great movie. Hopefully, the kittens' new owners will treat them with the same kind of care that Mrs. Doubtfire provided. He undoubtedly set a good example that anyone might follow. It is evidence that one need not be a biological mother to love in the same way. These kittens were quite fortunate. As a species, cats are often not very gregarious, and male cats in particular can be very hostile and even violent against kittens. All we can hope for is that these kittens receive far better care than they had from their former owner, and that they find loving, permanent homes. Regardless of the ultimate destination of these kittens, they will always be indebted to Mrs. Doubtfire, or more accurately, Mrs. Doubtfur. However, there is still something to be said for a mother's touch, even in the midst of this Mr. Mom's tender care. The relationship that exists between a mother and her kid is unparalleled. Even among animals, committed moms frequently make great sacrifices to care for their offspring. One employee at a nonprofit frequently seen this. Saying that Margie Morris adores cats would be a vast understatement. She therefore ensured that Project Purr Animal Rescue in Mobile, Alabama was free of cages and crates. This director of a nonprofit desired a house where her furry pals could live freely. This rescue organization, located in a strip mall, allows over 100 cats to roam freely throughout its several apartments. They all eat food valued at several $1,000s and squander 200 pounds of kitty litter per day. Margie's devotion for her rescue animals cannot be overstated. However, she had handled hundreds of cats and adoptions, and she had seldom come across anything exactly like what she had discovered in July. When Margie arrived at work on a Thursday morning, she saw 2 cardboard boxes piled on top of one another outside her office door. Upon closer examination, it was discovered that the boxes were quite peculiar. They had been carelessly wrapped with duct tape and had several punched holes in them. Margie's heart fell. What was in those crates, she believed she knew. Margie's concerns were verified when she and the shelter personnel opened the top box. There was a mother cat and 2 5-week-old orange kittens within. Margie and her colleagues opened the second box, expecting the worst, only to find it empty. However, there was evidence that the box had once contained a cat that managed to escape its cardboard prison. Later on, she would worry about this issue. Meanwhile, the mother cat and her babies presented Margie, who loved cats, with a real and pressing issue. She gave the kittens names Sheila and Neil and the mother Caroline. She then proceeded to do what she did best, help the kitties. In order to give Caroline more weight and to keep Sheila and Neil safe, Margie prepared a little bed and kennel for her. The kittens were having a blast at the rescue in the meanwhile. Margie stated, "The kittens will play, they're grappling one another and hopping about despite their little size. They snuggle very close to their mother because she adores them and is providing excellent care for them." But Caroline had a secret as well. Caroline wasn't even trying to manage 2 kittens at the same time. Margie surmised that she would get pregnant soon after giving birth to Sheila and Neil, and that the new litter would take many weeks to arrive. But Caroline gave birth to 4 additional gorgeous kittens a few days after making this discovery. But when Margie did the arithmetic, something didn't add up. There was no way Sheila and Neil were Caroline's real kittens, not with the chronology attached. She took a few lonely kittens under her thumb and adopted the young kids herself. What a maternal instinct! Then again, who was Sheila and Neil's real mother? Margie suspected the cat that had escaped the empty cardboard box once more. And shortly after, on Saturday morning, a rescue worker suddenly saw something odd outdoors. Another cat was seen scuttling around our small strip mall's parking lot, Margie said. 3 team volunteers and I attempted to apprehend her. Margie stated, "She was getting up in the car engines and we couldn't catch her. Rain was falling heavily. We just failed in our attempt to buy her off with food. We hope that somewhere she is still out there." It's unclear if the cat was indeed Sheila and Neil's mother, or if Project Purr Animal Rescue was ever able to apprehend her on the loose. Margie was aware that Caroline was handling the kitten matter, though. You see, Caroline had the option to break out of her cardboard box. She remained with her adoptive children and gave them protection, but she is a desperate cat with keen claws who can accomplish everything she sets her mind to. "I'm just grateful that she didn't run away and leave the babies," added Margie. "The maybe the cutest feature about the cat that I adore. She didn't abandon those infants. The finest mother ever is hers." Even with her 4 new kittens, Caroline continued to fulfill her obligations to Sheila and Neil. She looked after her new offspring as well as them. The greatest thing to ever step at the doorway of Project Purr Animal Rescue was her. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.